your safety in your drugs, for instance. It sounds like a reasonable thing. You know, you want safety in your drugs. But the FDA and the drug companies are in bed together, and they squeeze out competitions and build up their monopolies, and they love government medicine because they make more money. The insurance companies and the drug companies, whether it's Democrats or Republicans reforming the medical care system, these corporations run the show.
Stop. In case you don't know how this relates to BioShock, well, that's why I'm here. Once again, I'm going to talk about BioShock. Last week I connected some of the plot and gameplay of the original BioShock to stem cell research and some of the possible ways to obtain pluripotent stem cells. If you missed last week's video and have no idea what I'm talking about, there should be a card at the top of the screen for you to click. Today's topic is going to be interesting to cover because unlike last week's video where stem cell research seems distant and unrelated to you, today's topic is directly related to every single person watching this video in the US. Like last week, I have to explain some of the backstory of Rapture before I get into the other part of this video. If you want to skip ahead to the good stuff, you should be seeing a time to skip to now. To start, I do have to use a character not in the original BioShock. BioShock 2 introduces us to Sophia Lamb. Sophia was asked by Andrew Ryan to join Rapture as a psychiatrist in order to help citizens cope with undersea life with the lack of sunlight. Sophia at first did as she was told, but she did not share the same views that Ryan had. Sophia was an altruist who believed in helping others and working for the common good, contrary to Ryan's self-promoting, self-made man ideals. Ryan ignored this at first, but then Sophia began to gain a following with her clients. It got to the point that Andrew Ryan challenged her to a debate which backfired on him when her answers only rallied more support from the onlookers. Frustrated, Ryan turns to a less than moral way to get rid of Sophia. Andrew Ryan hired Sinclair to investigate Sophia to see if there were a legal reason to take her down. After some time, Sinclair was able to find proof of her crimes, which is dubious because of her actual crimes aren't cited in-game or in parallel to this plot sequence. Andrew Ryan takes over the atom industry with political and economic power becoming one. Soon after this, it turns out Atom is addictive and eventually leads to the downfall of Rapture. Unbeknownst to most of the US, funding of the FDA does not really come from taxpayers, which is a relief, right? Not when 95% of the FDA's funding comes from the very companies they're supposed to be keeping in line. With a flash of money, the government and food industry become one, with both partners mutually benefiting from the relationship. Sorta like how Andrew Ryan holds both economic and political power in his hands. The FDA operates for money the same way Ryan did in Fontaine before him. And like in Rapture, we became addicted to Atom. Not just in the prescription drugs, which are supposed to help us, which by the way the FDA themselves never actually test, but in our food. And it's not just from the addictive flavor enhancer MSG, which is in all our fast food, restaurant food, and processed food, it's the US's diet as well. Starting in 1953, that year really wasn't a good year, I guess. Dr. Keyes had a hypothesis from a so-called study he did on how to help heart disease. His hypothesis was that the problem was fat, which I guess makes sense. You eat fat, you get fat, which puts stress on the heart. But like most doctors, he wasn't taught nutrition and how it works. Your body has two energy sources, glucose and ketones, from breaking down fat. Your body will automatically go for the glucose because it yields more energy at one time because it burns quicker. Your body secretes insulin to break down the glucose, but after a certain amount of time, after a high glucose diet, your body stops responding to the signals to release insulin, which is why diabetics have to inject insulin so they can get the energy they need. Your body knows this is bad from all the crashes it has, but the quick energy source is extremely addictive to your body, so it keeps asking for it, and you give it to them. This also means your body is only burning glucose. The only way to get your body to stop eating high sugar and carb-filled diets is to allow your body to switch over to burning fat through ketones. This can only come through a low-carb, high-fat diet. This allows your body to get rid of glucose and allow fat as the only energy source. However, this is extremely hard to do because it's all the highly processed food we eat, which comes with the highly addictive MSG. The FDA knows it too, and does it to keep the majority of the American people on the stuff. The FDA allows the food companies to disguise the name in the ingredients list using several forms of glutamates. all because of money. Like Sophia Lamb, there are people who speak out against this, but also like Sophia Lamb, they're shut down for legal reasons. Just as a small example, do research yourself to see the number of natural raw milk farms there are that are shut down for, just like in the game, reasons. Well, that's all I have for today, but until then, keep looking for the story within the story. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and share this video.